After a very crazy and strange week last week in which you saw multiple players on the Bulls roster enter the health and safety protocol, including the most recent ones that we learned of yesterday in both Zach LaVine and Troy Brown Jr., to initially have that incredible win over the Nuggets, fighting through the adversity, to then being decimated by the Cavs and the Miami Heat. It was just kind of that up and down week for the Bulls, and to be honest, we're going to need to probably expect more of that in this upcoming week, given the Bulls, at the time of this recording anyway, still have 9 players in the health and safety protocol, and to be honest, I wouldn't be shocked if more fall into the protocol in the coming days, given there is a clear outbreak going on with this team. So in today's video, I'll be previewing the games ahead for this week, what we can expect, some of the guys under the protocol when they're going to be returning, and of course my predictions for the week. So what's going on, everyone? You've been listening to Bulls Central here. Hope you're all doing well. Guys, I know it's a little late coming, but as promised, I am announcing the giveaway for the channel, reaching 20,000 subscribers, as I would love to show my appreciation and support to you guys for all the support that you've shown me on the channel over the past year since starting it. And I know I mentioned I would likely be doing a jersey giveaway, so that way anyone can win, and it wouldn't be limited to only those who live in the Chicago area when I do tickets giveaways. However, I will be doing a jersey giveaway, promise, but I'm also going to be doing a tickets giveaway to the United Center, as it was very well received the last time around, the time before that. So similar to how I did it last time, rather than just selecting a subscriber, I want to reward those who actually tune into the channel on a regular basis. So if you're watching this, send me a DM on either Twitter or Instagram with the words "Give me to the United Center." Obviously, make sure you come back and finish the rest of the video after you do that, but send me a note and you will automatically be entered into the drawing. The links to both my Twitter and Instagram can be found in the description. And guys, even if I don't respond to you in the chat, don't worry, you will be entered. The first time I did this, I wanted to respond to everyone, and that led to me messaging 488 people, so I won't be doing that this time around. Just know that you have been entered, and keep tuning into the channel, as I will announce the jersey giveaway in the coming days. But with that said, let's get back into the content. So what I will say is the one silver lining in all of these Bulls players entering the health and safety protocol is it means all of these guys are getting some much needed rest, because according to Billy Donovan, all of the players are asymptomatic, so they're just sitting at home and isolating themselves. And the other good thing is, in this upcoming week, the Bulls are finally getting some stretches where they have more breaks in their schedule, multiple days off between games. As I mentioned in my last video, the Bulls only have 2 games in a 7-day stretch. So for this week, the Bulls have 3 games starting tomorrow, where they'll take on the Detroit Pistons in Chicago. They'll then head to Toronto to take on the Raptors on Thursday, and then they'll head back home to face the Lakers on Sunday. And boy, do I hope some of these guys will be back in time for that game, as I really want the Bulls to sweep the Lakers this season. But let's start with tomorrow's game, in which the Bulls will be facing currently the worst team in the league record-wise in the Detroit Pistons. Now, the last time the Bulls faced the worst team in the league, who only had 1 win at the time, in the Houston Rockets, the Bulls had one of the worst losses of their season, coming up short against the Rockets. But then the Rockets went on a crazy winning streak after beating the Bulls, and now the Pistons sit dead last in the league with a record of 4-22. And to make matters worse for the Pistons, arguably their best player in Jeremy Grant suffered torn ligaments in his thumb, which will sideline him indefinitely, so he will not be available in tomorrow's game, which is a huge break for the Bulls, given we are depleted as it is, especially at the 4 spot. Kelly Olynyk, another big man, is also out for the Pistons, so honestly, even with the Bulls being incredibly shorthanded, this is still a game in theory they should win. As I said before, the Bulls still have Vucevic and Lonzo, at least for now anyway. You're going against one of the worst teams in the league without their best player. Now, the last time the Bulls faced the Pistons, which they've actually already played them twice right at the beginning of the season, but the Pistons were without their rookie and #1 pick in Cade Cunningham, who will be available for tomorrow's game. And he's been playing pretty well as of late. He still hasn't been the most efficient player with a PER of 11.3, but he's still averaging 15 points per game, 6.2 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. He's really going to be the main guy for the Bulls that they're going to really need to be looking out for, him and Saddiq Bey. And between Lonzo and Caruso, I'm not too worried in them locking up Cunningham and ensuring that Cade is not able to run the floor, which he does well. But that's what Lonzo and Caruso do best, is their hard-nosed defense on the perimeter and deflecting passes and interrupting plays and interrupting the flow of offense, which is what Cade Cunningham does. Now, it is important to note that Coby White could be back in time for this game, exiting the protocol as he entered the protocol on December 1st and has already passed the 10-day mark, and he has been cleared to start the cardiovascular portion of the protocol. However, it generally takes, again, a little bit more time than just the day after that happens. But even just to have Coby back and in the lineup for this game would be a big win for the Bulls, just to give us some added scoring and to just not have G League players and getting rotational minutes. Then the Bulls will be taking on the Raptors on Thursday. Now, the Raptors have been playing better as of late. Now, they've won 3 of their last 4. Pascal Siakam is finally back in the lineup and playing consistently. Fred VanVleet has been leading the team and performing very well. However, they are still without OG Anunoby, who has actually been their leading scorer this season. But the Raptors have reported that he will be out for the foreseeable future, which likely means he will not be in the game on Thursday when they take on the Bulls. Really, the challenge I see from this game is the fact that this is another team with size that the Bulls don't really match up well against. You know, we played these guys in the 4th game of the season in Toronto, and the Bulls nearly collapsed in the 4th quarter to almost lose the game, and that was without Siakam, and we still had Patrick Williams at the time. So now the Raptors have Siakam back. They've got Precious Achiuwa, Kem Birch, Chris Boucher. I mean, they've got a lot of big guys, and again, while the Bulls remain shorthanded, and with Vooch struggling, that could present some problems, especially with Derrick Jones Jr. being out, because he's really been such a good presence inside on defense for the Bulls. Now, hopefully, by the time Thursday rolls around, you'll have Coby White back at a minimum, and potentially even Javonte Green, who is the next player who entered the health and safety protocol that you might see him return to the lineup, who has been really a great defensive presence for the Bulls at that 4 spot. The Raptors overall have been a hard team to read just because they have been inconsistent this season, but at the same time, they have a lot of talent, young talent, and they can get up and down the court quickly. The Bulls need to ensure they're matching that energy and quickness and keeping up the pace and ball movement and not trying to slow down the game against a team that likes to move fast, as that has proven not to be a good strategy for the Bulls when they have attempted this in the past. Then the Bulls will close out the week on Sunday against the LA Lakers. You would have to assume that both Coby and Javonte will be back in the lineup by then, and it's even possible that DeRozan could be available to play by this game, which will definitely need him. Honestly, it's so hard to assess, guys, any of the games for this week because we have no idea who is going to be available to play on a daily basis. And obviously, if the Bulls are shorthanded, they're not going to win this game. I mean, the Lakers have been pretty underwhelming, and they've really been an average team at best so far this season, despite their star talent. But with a shorthanded team and roster that the Bulls have in place right now, they're not going to be a team with LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Westbrook. So it's really hard to discuss keys to this game because it's all dependent on who is going to be available on Sunday. We can assume Lavine, Troy Brown, and Derrick Jones Jr. and Matt Thomas for that matter, are not going to be available. But if DeRozan is available to play, as is Coby and Javonte Green, the Bulls could at least make this game competitive because the Lakers, as they currently stand, are a bit of a mess right now. Not sure how they thought all of these veteran players were going to work well together on that team, but here we are. Anyway, I think given the fact that Lonzo, who loves showing out against his former team like he did earlier this season at Staples Center, where he lit up the Lakers from behind the arc. And as long as Vooch doesn't bomb like he has been, and if you add DeRozan to the lineup to match up against LeBron and Caruso and Lonzo locking up Westbrook, then the Bulls should be able to come out on top in this game. Again, all of this assumes more players don't enter the protocol and the ones currently in it are back and ready to go. Obviously, the biggest challenge will be Anthony Davis, given the Bulls don't have the size at the 4 spot to guard him. Although, last time around, the Bulls actually handled him pretty well, and that was without Vucevic when you had the likes of Derrick Jones Jr., Javonte Green, and Tony Bradley protecting the rim. And obviously, it helped that Anthony Davis got thrown out of the game midway through the 3rd quarter. So really, guys, this week is going to be kind of a crapshoot because you don't know who is going to be in and out of the lineup. We don't know if any of the games are going to be postponed, which I really hope actually happens, but I don't think that it will. The Bulls are playing relatively easy teams against the Pistons and the Raptors, but can you really call any of them easy when you're playing a team full of G-Leaguers? So because of all of that, I have no idea how to predict this week. Not that I'm ever right anyway in any of these predictions, but you know what? If I had to take a guess, I'm saying the Bulls go 2-1. Losing only to the Raptors, because you'd have to think with how bad the Pistons are and losing their best player, even with the depleted roster of the Bulls, they should be able to eke out a win. We do need Vucevic to at least play mildly decent to get there though, but they should be able to do it. I do think the Raptors are going to be a tougher opponent and present mismatch challenges for the Bulls, especially with the shorthanded roster. But then I think the Bulls, with some of the players coming back out of the protocol, will be able to take out the Lakers. I know this might be wishful thinking because I can't stand the Lakers, but I'm sticking to it. This week is going to be all over the place, so who knows? I want to know your guys' predictions though. How do you think the Bulls will do despite being shorthanded? Don't forget to send me a DM if you want to be included in the drawing for the tickets giveaway at the United Center, either on Twitter or Instagram. In the meantime, guys, as always, be sure to subscribe if you're a Bulls fan, as I do post daily Bulls content. Thanks again for tuning in, guys, and I will catch you in the next one.